Well, welcome everyone. We'll begin the joint meeting for Rules and Open Government Committee, Committee of the Whole for Wednesday, May 20th. I can see Vice Mayor Jones, Councilmember Davis, Councilmember Camus, and I think Councilmember Arenas.
Yes, I'm here.
You're here. Okay, great. Everyone's here. And so we have a quorum and we'll start with a review of the final agenda for June 2nd because there's no agenda on May 26th. We'll start on pages 5 and 6. Anybody has any changes? And pages 7 and 8. Pages 9 and 10. Pages 11 and 12. Pages 13 and 14.
So, Mayor, I'm assuming since item 10.2 is recommended for deferral that we will not be having an evening session.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
That is correct.
I just wanted to state the obvious. That's all.
Never hurts. Okay, great.
Doesn't mean that we're not going to work in the evening.
Too soon, Johnny. Too soon. Too soon.
Is a sad but true statement. Okay, and then page 16 is the Financing Authority Board. So we'll do that all in the afternoon, I guess. I don't see a need. Dave, do you see any need to start early or?
No, I didn't. We didn't think so. No.
Let's see how long council discussion takes, but I
So
think
Mayor, we will be coming back with the modifications to the face covering that the council
That's right.
requested yesterday.
okay. Oh, okay, so that'll be additional. All right, I think, yesterday's 3.1 lasted a little less than 3 hours, I think. So with a 10-minute limit on folks, because at least it keeps us within 3 hours. So if we can get the rest of the stuff worked on in the meantime, I think we should be okay. Okay. We have one member of the public like to speak, Mr. Beekman.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. To speak to item 3.4, I think it is, you'll be talking about Measure T issues. I hope city government is considering how it can better expand local Measure T public oversight still, or to expand a city commission process, as this can offer structured, well-organized, open community dialogue for all sides and issues, and that may be needed by this summer and fall. I've mentioned it a few times now, and I hope you can bring it up soon, or at least be considering ways to have a structured, organized way for public and government dialogue this summer and fall. And you have a smart wave issue item. It'll be interesting to learn more about that. And good luck with your face mask issues. I'm in favor of having that work from a county level, but I was very interested in how you talked about the issue last night, and it was informative. It gave me my own structured way how to navigate and work with it. So I thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Okay, that passes. So we'll move on to the meeting schedule. Item D is a schedule for August through the 21st. I'm sorry, August 20 through June of 2021. I'm sorry. Is there a motion?
So
And
moved.
just a note, Mayor, we're actually setting the schedule for the whole year. Normally, we do this in 6-month increments, but felt it was worth just putting it out there for the whole year.
Yeah, okay. Motion from Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Cool. Second, can we make sure that December 15th doesn't take till midnight?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go out for drinks one way or the other.
Yeah. That will be your last council meeting, won't it,
Yes,
Councilman?
it will.
It's my daughter's birthday, so I'll try and help you out with that one, council member.
Good, thank you.
In either case, the bars will be open. All right. On that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Public record is item E.
Motion to note and
Note and
file.
file. Or second.
All right, Mr. Beekman?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Get up to my speeches here. To summarize my 3 letters to the public record this week, it is interesting to note how good digital inclusion planning from civic innovation, both pre and post COVID-19, seems to work best with a slow, cautious, yet steady approach. I hope the SJ community digital inclusion community is learning to practice how to be more sensitive to the health risks involved with broadband and 5G, and that many people are currently worried, angered, intimidated, and heartbroken by international governments and institutions, and the current push of 5G by federal government onto local cities at this time. The digital inclusion community is getting most of what they're asking for at this time, and that can help address the honest questions of the digital divide. I hope I can remind the importance of minimal use practices with technology can do much of the same work as oversaturation of local neighborhoods. With Vision Zero technology also a part of federal government packages at this time, and that concludes what I have to say. I hope we can consider that minimal use practices with technology can work just as well as oversaturation. And finally, I hope we can talk about rent forgiveness ideas more with tenants and owners. I feel there's some really good ideas coming from Sacramento at this time. I hope everyone really looks into these, really inclusive ideas from Sacramento at this time. Is how to ourselves to learn how to speak more openly of these practical good ideas and ideals. It takes practice and work, but I hope we can all make efforts in the next 6 months, as I feel it's logic is to simply, at this time, is to simply state that most everyday people were not involved in the decision making of what brought on this pandemic, and that we should not be held responsible for the ideas of back rent and mortgage, and that there are fewer options now to create revenue or find money.
Thank you, Mr. Beekman.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, on the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. We're on to open forum. All right, Mr. Beekman.
Hi, if you can give me a second to find my my speech here. Okay, here we go. To speak to the upcoming Memorial Day and good community practices. Although they may have a terrible name, I would like to thank the federal emergency service agency, BWASI, and they are part of the HITDA and DHS. In my technology accountability work for local communities, I've been writing to BWASI for at least 10 months of the past 10 months of an instability that has been developing from US and international governments and their proxy forces throughout the world in the past few years. Interestingly, a recent BWASI Approval Authority meeting item of November 2019 approached the ideas of instability from people passing along information and products within US nuclear testing facilities and laboratories. It is this work from within that people are now currently questioning the role of a U.S. federal government Maryland laboratory and its possible connections to laboratories in Wuhan, China, and the current coronavirus pandemic. Please note, I am trying to offer a balanced approach to these subjects. With 40 seconds remaining, from all of this, I would like to again thank the overall work and efforts of Baywasi themselves in explaining these. They have been trying to develop more stable practices and better communications for several years now, and are currently trying to develop better public access and participation with SF Card and Cater in Santa Clara County. Overall, I feel the November 2019 meeting can be an important lesson for all of us in how to continually look for and develop open, accessible ideas of what can be the public process and how everyday people in government at all levels can practice good democracy and bureaucratic oversight and feel they can offer their own good voice, how to report and be listened to when one feels state, national, international situations are going too violent, warlike, unstable, unjust, or extreme. Thank you, and happy Memorial Day. Try to be honest with each other about rent issues, and I think good things can happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beekman. The caller with the initials MOC, welcome.
Yeah.
Hello, if you could unmute yourself, MOC, welcome. Person with the initials MOC, you're welcome to talk. You appear to be unmuted at this point, but we can't hear anything. We may come back to you. It appears there may be a problem with the device. So I'm going to go into our phone-in member of the community who has a number ending in 4963, and we'll come back to the other speaker. Welcome.
Okay. Hi, Sam. It's Martha. The other speaker is me because I couldn't get through last night, so I'm frantically calling in from both places. Okay, because of the recent change in the commission's policy, I can say that I am on the Housing Commission, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up about a very serious issue that I'm requesting something be done about. There are at least 2 housing commissioners who have underlying medical conditions and who are afraid about attending the commission once the stay in place is lifted. 1 week before we were ordered to shelter in place, we had a housing commission meeting. I came, I was frightened to death, Sam. I was frightened to death. The other commissioner stayed home because of doctor's orders. He did not attend the meeting. We need something to be done. We need to work with the city attorney. We need to work with the disability coordinator. We need all the help we can get. I understand the Brown Act issues, but I'm telling you that we are commissioners for designated seats, and we are very concerned about putting our health and safety on the line by attending commission meetings. So we've got to work something out where if we don't feel safe physically being in that room, that we can do something, attend by phone or whatever. We have both brought this issue up before, and we have been told there's nothing the city can do because of the Brown Act, but I think we all realize we're living in a different era. There may be, this pandemic may come back in the fall, and then you have 2 HCDC commissioners that are in serious, grave danger. So
I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you just tell us who is it? Who's telling you that you can't have virtual meetings?
No, before this, Sam. Before we had the lockdown, we were told that we could not attend by phone.
So Mayor, this sounds like kind of old status.
Okay.
Certainly, as we bring the commissions and committees back online, they will be virtual. Okay. So I want to reassure Martha of that. And I just want to.
Yeah. The question is how long? What may be safe for a certain commissioner who is not a senior, as I am, and does not have underlying medical conditions, they might be able to come into the meeting room. What about those folks like me and the other housing commissioner who simply cannot do it? Okay. We're literally putting our lives.
Martha, your point's well taken. So look, I think we're going to be very accommodating to make sure, since many members of our commissions are retired, obviously we're going to need to take great precautions. And I'm confident, Dave and the team, we're going to do that. So happy to follow up and make sure that happens.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and just reassure you, Mayor, absolutely. And we're a long way from asking people to come into a meeting at all. So certainly appreciate Martha's concern, and safety will always be the top priority.
Great. Thank you. All right. Well, the meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.